Hello, hello. Happy Real Talk Tuesday, fam. How you doing? I'm so excited to see you. This is a super special Real Talk. I'm Dr. Autumn Cavanis, and I'm the director of Big Futures Real Talk. And when I tell you, I have been waiting for you, fam. I'm waiting for you. You know why? Because tonight we are during such an amazing week. It's a super special week. We are doing Real Talk Story Time, how I won a 40,000. Yes, 40,000, okay? $40,000 Big Future Scholarship. And it is a special Real Talk Tuesday because, as I said a few moments ago, fam, we are actually on day 2 of Big Future Scholarship Week. And Big Future Scholarship Week is sharing with you all the amazing ways that you can support your education and take the right next step after high school. And we're doing that all December 4th through December 8th. So I'm so proud of you because you being here tonight is you investing in your future. And you have a big future ahead of you, and you're here tonight. So, fam, I can go on and on, but we only have 60 minutes, right? So let's run down the agenda so you know what's happening tonight. So we have had, for the past, goodness, 4 or 5 Real Talks, we have had just outstanding panels. And tonight is no exception. We have a phenomenal all-star scholarship panel. And then we're going to play a game. We're going to play Big Facts or Big Cap. You know what this game is about. Then we're actually going to get into story time. I won a $40,000 Big Future Scholarship for real, okay? For real. Then we're going to connect with one of our wonderful partners, UNCF. And then, fam, we have an incredible, I was going to say a student, but she now has 3 degrees, and she has won over $9.4 million in scholarship funding. And so we're going to connect with her. And of course, if you have a question, drop that question in the chat for us. We're going to try to get to as many questions in the interim. But let's go ahead and get started. Let's meet this panel. Producer, can you bring in our panel, please? Hello, panel. How are y'all doing? Hey, y'all. So what I would love to know is I need to know, what is your name, your hometown, and either your university or your organization. And I'm going to go ahead and start. I've been talking about a $9.4 million scholar. Let's just go ahead and let's go to Louisiana. Let's go to the 504. Hey, Normandy, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm excellent. Tell us who you are. Give us a little bit more.
Great. My name is Normandy Cormier. I'm from Lafayette, Louisiana, a little small town. And I went to an HBCU, one of the illustrious HBCUs, Xavier University of Louisiana. And I got my degree in neuroscience from there. And I also went to a PWI afterwards to get my graduate degree, LSU. So I've been to a HBCU and a PWI. So
All right. Thank you, Normandy. Let's go ahead and talk to one of our UNCF partners. Ms. Reed, how are you doing today?
Doing good. How are you doing, Dr. Autumn?
I'm excellent. It's the holiday seasons. I'm good. I'm real good.
Awesome. Well, I agree. I'm doing good too. My name is Angelica Reed. I'm here in Washington, D.C., reporting live from the United Negro College Fund. And so I can't wait to talk to you all a little bit more about scholarship opportunities at UNCF.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Reed. So a minute ago, we spoke about Xavier in New Orleans. Let's talk about Xavier in Ohio. How you doing, Miss Elisa?
Hello, I'm doing great. So I go to Xavier University, the PWI in Cincinnati, Ohio. My hometown is Columbus, Georgia, where I attended Hardaway High School as a graduate.
All right. Thank you. It's good to see you. All right. And let's go ahead and take it over to PV. How you doing, Carrington?
I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm excellent. Tell us more about yourself.
So I'm from Pearland, Texas, graduated from Dawson High School, did cheer a little bit, did a little track. So excited to be here talking to y'all.
All right. And which HBCU are you repping right now?
Prairie View A&M.
All right. PV's in the building. And you know what? Since we just rep PV, I think we need to go talk to a mom. Is there a mom in the building? I'm just curious. Hello.
There is, in fact, a mom in the building. Hello, everyone.
Hello, Miss Clay. Go ahead and introduce yourself for us, please.
Well, I am Carrington's mom, proud mom, I should add, and originally from Chicago, Illinois. I'm a John Maxwell speaker, trainer, and coach, international speaker, Amazon bestselling author, and a whole bunch of other things. I'm just excited to be here amongst such amazing students and scholars. Congratulations on the 3 degrees, okay?
I love that. Thank you, Mrs. Clay. And you know, we are filming this Real Talk live at Austin's first institution of higher learning and only HBCU. So it's only right that we connect with an amazing student who is actually on the campuses right now. Nicholas, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing well, Dr. Cavanis. Good evening. My name is Nicholas McDermott. I serve as the HA Vice President here at Houston-Tulsa University. But not only that, I'm a part of the African American Male Teacher Initiative. I'm from Houston, Texas. I graduated from Cashmere High School, 6900 Wilderville.
Hey, like I said, fam, Real Talk fam, this is an illustrious all-star scholarship panel. So I think we need to go ahead and get into it, okay? Let's go ahead and play Big Facts or Big Cap. All right, so if it is Big Facts, I need y'all to just kind of give us a thumbs up. If it's Big Cap, what do y'all do if it's Big Cap? Can y'all help us out? Okay. Little X, there you go. Okay. Are we on the same page? Okay. We practice this, fam. We practice this. All right. Can someone tell me, please? I think I have a sense of what Big Facts are. What's Big Cap? Can someone help me out? Super curious. Normandy, I'm going to volunteer you. Go ahead. What's Big Cap?
Oh, goodness. Big Cap, absolutely untrue. Trash. No. Untrue.
Right. No truth detected, okay? No truth detected. And then Big Facts would be the reverse, right? Big Facts is what I'm saying is truthful. It's legitimate. It's verified. It's valid. All the euphemisms, okay? All right. So let's get started, panel. When it comes to applying for scholarships, your mentality is everything. When it comes to applying for scholarships, your mentality is everything. Oh, okay, Big Facts. Okay, Big Facts, all right? I like that. Okay, Nicholas, I don't know what you did, but I like all that. Look, okay, Big Facts, y'all. Talk to me. Why is that Big Facts? Miss Reed, I'm going to start with you.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, that's definitely Big Facts. It's all about the mindset. Because the scholarship search, as these students know, it's not a short game, it's a long game. So you got to prepare yourself to go at not just one scholarship, but every scholarship that you're eligible for. And so you don't stop until you have $9.4 million in 3 degrees, okay? So that's Big Facts.
Oh, that's Big Facts. Okay, I like this energy. Miss Clay, talk to us.
Yeah, so you're only going to go as far as your mindset allows you to go. And so when you have to transform the way you're thinking in order to get where you want to go. So sometimes we have those self-limiting beliefs. Sometimes we're self-sabotaging and not even knowing. And sometimes we're succumbing to our environment and what everybody else is doing, right? And so we have to make sure that we're doing that self-check, regulating that mind every day and saying, what is it that I want and how am I going to get there? And sometimes a scholarship is how it's going to happen.
Completely agreed. Nicholas, your thoughts on that?
No matter how far you push, like you always got to push beyond what you see the next person doing, and it will help you get closer to your goals. So that's what I live by, like go farther. And when you go farther, help somebody else along the way, because that can help you know that where you're trying to go, or if you're right or wrong.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. One of my favorite sayings, fam, is as you climb, we lift as we climb. We always make sure that we're good as a community. Carrington, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I would say the mentality is a big thing because it can get stressful when you're constantly applying and you feel like you're not getting it in the essays and the same questions being asked over and over. It can be a lot. So being mentally ready for that and strong in the head can really help you stay focused and just keep trying until you get it.
Thank you, ma'am. Alicia, how about you? Thoughts?
All right, I want to agree with Carrington. Mental health is very important, but I don't want students to get in their own head and be like, oh my God, I have to do it all alone. You have people along your journey that you grew up with in your school systems, mentors. You have plenty of people who are there to help you and they want you to succeed. So when you're feeling stressed, don't feel bad and just go ahead and ask them for advice, because most of the people around you, they've been through it. So it's okay to ask for help, and that'll push you through it, give you that little push as well. Like Nicholas said, somebody can bring up with you. You could be the person that they help bring up.
Ooh, you're giving us big facts in Ohio today, okay? Right? We don't have to do this. We don't have to do this alone, right? You have a panel, you have a Real Talk fam, a Big Future fam. You don't have to do this alone at all. Normandy, how about mentality? Talk to us.
Mentality is everything. And I tell even my students, having a winning mentality, a winning mindset can bring you very far. As someone who applied to over 300 scholarships in 2 months' time, I had to have a winning mentality. I always told myself before I even applied for the scholarship that I already won. And to take it a step even further, I always told myself, I can win the scholarship, I will win the scholarship, and I deserve to win the scholarship. So your mindset, it's just everything. So definitely focus on that. Don't focus on your grades. Don't focus on your test scores. Don't focus on your income bracket, or if you failed a class, 9th or 10th grade. Don't focus on any of those things. Focus on knowing that you can definitely win and that you're eligible for millions in scholarships. So that's the most important part of it. You definitely can win. You already won. You got this.
Fam, I love our panel. I told you our panel plays 0 games, okay? And that's why we started this Real Talk with that big fact. The fact that you're here and you're taking the time to learn about scholarship opportunities. That's investing in yourself, your future, your career, who you are going to be, right? That is an investment in your future self, and I'm proud of you. So that mentality is everything, and you're already on point because you're here right now. All right, so panel, let's get to the next one. It's too hard to find scholarships for college. It's too hard to find scholarships for college. Let me see, is that big facts, big cap? Okay, Ms. Reed was like, let me think about it. All right, that's big cap. That's a big cap. Okay. All right, Mrs. Clay, why is that big cap?
First of all, we all sit around with these little things in our hands, cell phones. The amount of time, if you go into your phone settings, wherever it's located, it shows you your screen time. That same amount of time, if you just took half that time to just look for resources, and like Normandy said, it's like there's always something you're eligible for. There are scholarships out there for if you're left-handed, if you blink twice, if you sneeze, if you cough, if you look to your left, if you know how to drive. There are scholarships out there for everything. It's just a matter of understanding that you have to want it bad enough to want to go and look for it. Everything isn't going to be given to you. And I know that as a former educator, I know a lot of times students will come to me and they just wanted me to hand everything over to them. And it was like, no, some things, if you want it bad enough, you need to go and get it. There's a proverb that says is if you teach a man to fish, he'll eat forever. And if I keep feeding you, you're going to keep coming back to me. So at the end of the day, you just need to use some of that same time that you're using for other things. And I'm not saying that you cannot socialize and have fun. So please don't think I'm the bah humbug mom. That's not what I'm saying. As a matter of fact, I encourage you to have some fun because that's also important. But I also want you to make sure that you have your funds in place, fun and funds. So when you do that, then we're all good.
I love it. I love it. Anyone else from the panel want to add something to that? Alicia, did you want to add something?
I'm trying to think. She hit it right on the money, but I will say, the scholarships for everything. Like when I was trying to apply for colleges, I know my parents were always on to me about apply for this scholarship, apply for that, because they are everywhere. And it just takes the drive. It just takes you wanting to get there, because in order for me to get where I am, I had to remember my main goal, that I wanted to be successful in the psychology field. To get there, it takes money. I'm not going to be slaving a job. So what I'm going to do, get a scholarship. And you just have to want to do it. And that's what it takes. So it's not
All right.
impossible in conclusion.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Alicia. Normandy, did you want to add something?
I definitely want to piggyback on what Ms. Clay and also Alicia said, because it's 1000% true. Making time to apply for scholarships is so important. There are so many ways to find opportunities for yourself. Like I mentioned earlier, every student qualifies for millions in scholarships. So, I mean, there's so many ways to break down who you are as a student to find opportunities. Your ethnicity, nationality, your major, your religion, your orientation, what languages you speak, what, like Ms. Clay said, what hand do you write with? There's so many ways to find opportunities for yourself, your city and state, what you do in your free time, even what you don't do in your free time. There's so many ways to find opportunities. You just have to make time to find it. And people make time for what they want, right? So that's the most important thing.
Ooh, I tell you, panel's giving us mic drop moments. We make time for what we want and what we deem important. Ooh, thank you, Alicia. That's right there, right? Total mic drop. Panel, college scholarships are only for certain students. Again, college scholarships are only for certain students. Ooh, okay. Carrington, talk to us. That's definitely big cap. Definitely big cap. Carrington,
Yeah.
and then
It is
Yes.
because scholarships are literally for everybody. Like they have scholarships before you even get to high school that you could apply for, and they'll like keep it for you for college. Like you just got to do it. At the end of the day, you just got to apply yourself and do it. Because saying it's not for me or they don't have anything out there for me is really just an excuse, and you're holding yourself back. You just got to let the negativity go and just do it.
That's getting back to that mentality, right? That mindset. Okay. Agreement. I'm in total agreement. Nicholas, your thoughts, sir?
Just keep going. Just keep going. If when you think like, oh, it's not time, I don't have time for it, do it, because it will help you like longer as you go through the college experience. Like you're gonna have a lot of moments throughout post grad and grad to be like, do I have time for this scholarship? Do I want to go do something else? But when you do it and you look back and be like, wow, that was a scholarship I halfway finished, but I took the time out to like give 5 more minutes to it and I received the money.
I love that. And we're going to do one more from Big Facts or Big Cap. But you know what? Our Real Talk fam is giving us questions, right? I can't just keep our fam on ignore. We got to pull some questions and let's see what's going on. All right. As a high school student, this is from Elijah. What is the best way to find scholarships for yourself? And we're going to touch on this a little bit later. But I just want quickly, just one quick tip from someone on the panel. What is the best way to find scholarships for yourself? Normandy, ready to go. I see it's like we at the double dutch rope. Normandy trying to jump in. Go ahead, Normandy.
Alrighty, so there's so many ways to find opportunities for yourself. We're going to touch on this later on too, but one method I always use is using quotes in Google. That is the most important. That's really important scholarship hack that not really many people know about. But Google tells you if you want to find opportunities and narrow down your search results, use quotes, and that's what I did. So I would use different. I broke down who I was as a student. So once again, back to ethnicity, nationality, your major. And what I did with those phrases and terms, I plugged it into Google. I used quotes, and that told Google I need opportunities for this that are open right now. So for example, I was a neuroscience major, right? So I put scholarships for neuroscience majors or for students majoring in neuroscience. And I would use quotes and I would get the best, most relative, the most relevant results that were open for me to apply for. So use Google. Google's your best friend, and also use quotes to help narrow down your search results. That's something I found out that really helped me for sure to find scholarships.
All right. Thank you, Normandy. And then Shamika wants to know, is this information that we're doing tonight only for those planning on going to an HBCU? This information is for any student, anyone who's planning on a 2-year, a 4-year, thinking about their career, thinking about their next step. This is for all of us, right? This is no gatekeeping. This is for all of us if you're interested in career and college planning. But that's a wonderful question, Shamika. All right, let's go ahead and get into one more. I think this is a really good one, okay? And this one's really going to be just for 3 panelists. I'm going to call 3 panelists out, okay? So I need Mrs. Clay, I need Alicia, and I need Carrington to listen real carefully to this one, okay? Big facts or big cap? I won a $40,000 Big Future Scholarship. Hey, okay, that's big facts, right? That's big facts. Check is cleared over at PV, over at Xavier. These are big facts. Big, okay? And I have to say this, fam, I'm really excited about this because it's a super special night for us over at Real Talk because we actually have 2 of our $40,000 Big Future Scholarship winners in the building, along with the mom of one of our winners. So this is a huge, huge day. And if you see that QR code that's on the screen, right, we're going to have a lot of QR codes tonight. Go ahead and snap that image because that's going to take you to all the information if you want to learn about our Big Future $40,000 scholarship, which is truly an amazing opportunity, life-changing opportunity of a lifetime. And so I'm going to take us back for just a minute, if you don't mind, all right? Carrington and Alicia, who's in those pictures? Do you know those people? Who is that? Carrington, who's on the left?
I don't even see the slides.
You don't see the slide? Okay. Well, on the slide, it actually is going to be you on this picture. All right. So on the left is you. Okay. And it's you holding up a Big Future $40,000 scholarship. And you're surrounded by everybody at the high school. Do you remember that moment? What was that day like?
Oh, I can see it now. Okay.
See it?
Okay. That day was something because I got tricked, but it was a good trick. I tell you.
Okay,
it was something. It was exciting, but it was emotional at the same time because it just wasn't not expecting it at all. I thought I was cheering for somebody else, and then I was end up cheering for myself. So it was like I was patting myself on the back before I even got the scholarship in the first place. It was a great day.
So you were completely surprised.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Carrington. Mrs. Clay, do you remember that day? What was that moment like for you as a parent?
Let me tell you, the only thing I can say now is the same thing I said then. Thank you, Jesus. Let me tell y'all, I was in complete and utter shock because of the way everything played out. And I don't know how your line of question will go, so I don't want to say too much too soon. But just know that we had absolutely no clue. And then to be favored in such a way, it was just truly a blessing. And I mean, it's still, now that we're talking about it again and looking at the photos, it was a lot. Very emotional, good emotions, like Carrington mentioned.
All right. Thank you, Mrs. Clay. Alicia, do you remember that day?
I sure do. And it's so ironic that Carrington said she was a cheerleader because my school, it was a pep rally, and all I had to do at the pep rally was do the cheer, and we were going to be done. And so someone was like, someone can tell you about Big Futures and College Board. And I was like, and she said, can I get Alicia to tell me? And I'm like, oh, man. So I get up there. I'm giving a spiel of what I did. And next thing you know, they're like, well, how would you feel if I told you I won a scholarship, if you won a scholarship? And I was like, oh, snap, it's going down. Like, it's just so much excitement. It's like winning like I told them on the news, it's like winning a car on a game show. Like, oh, my God, I can't believe this just happened to me. And the funniest part is watching your mom be shocked, too, because it's like they got both of us at the same time. It's something to be there for. It was, and then the love from your school, it's amazing.
That's spectacular. I appreciate you, Alicia, Carrington, and Mrs. Clay taking us back to that moment, right? And fam, we're going to talk more about opportunities for being able to participate also in our Big Future and our scholarships for $500 and $40,000. So we'll get into that a little bit more. But what I want you to know is that if you want to qualify for the $540,000 from Big Future, you see that QR code again. You'll do a few steps, right? These are steps that you'll do and complete on your dashboard that will enter you in terms of what you need to do for an additional drawing. So you want to start your career list. You want to start your scholarship list. You want to strengthen your college list. You want to ensure that you complete your FAFSA. And you want to ensure that you're applying to colleges. And these are steps that you can take on your dashboard over at Big Future. And this will help you in terms of our Big Future qualification for our scholarships. And a couple of more things, because I want to make sure everybody knows. I know we're getting a lot of questions about this in the chat. Scholarships for $500 and $40,000 are awarded monthly until February of your senior year. So this is super special because our sophomores are now becoming eligible for this amazing opportunity. Completing any step enters you in the drawings on the first day of every month. And students whose families earn less than $60,000 a year have more chances to earn scholarships. And what is extraordinary about this opportunity is you do not have to write an essay. You do not have to submit an application. You do not have to be a citizen. You do not have to have a certain GPA, a certain test score, or a certain income. This is all about you taking those crucial steps that are needed to get you started for that right step and that right move after high school. And that's what this is all about. All right. So I'm going to give one more, and then we're going to get back into some things from UNCF and from our $1 Million Scholar over there. All right. So there are lots of opportunities for college and scholarship. Caring adults and parents, please make sure that your student is a part of Big Future Student Search Service. And how you do that is go ahead and scan that code and make sure that they're a part of this and they're getting what they need in terms of offers of college admission. That all comes from being a part of this opportunity. So go ahead and take a quick moment, scan that QR code, and that's going to help everyone out. All right. Let's talk to UNCF. What's up, Ms. Reed? How are you?
Doing good. I'm just feeling motivated by these students and just so impressed by the money that is on this call right now.
Okay. It's a lot of money in here, okay? Or something. It's your favorite song. I was thinking a little Bia, a little Nicki, but I'll let y'all figure out which one. Okay.
There you go.
All
there
right.
you go.
At least that's the one. That's the one. All right. Talk to us about UNCF, one of our wonderful partners. Talk to us about any opportunities that may be on the horizon right now.
Love to. Thank you so much, Dr. Autumn. And just again, shout out to these fellow panelists here because they're showing that scholarship searching and the scholarship process is all worth it and it's all possible for you students who are on the call right now. And so my name is Angelica Reed again, and I work for an amazing organization also known as the United Negro College Fund, or UNCF. And every year at UNCF, we're giving away over 400 scholarships throughout the year to students like yourselves who are headed to college and even students that are already in college looking to graduate with little or no debt. So we have a hashtag, a little saying at UNCF that we just use year round, and it's dethrone the loan. So we encourage parents like Mrs. Clay here to hashtag dethrone the loan throughout the year. Because our message is simple to students. It's possible to go to the college of your choice, the college of your dreams, whether that's HBCU, 4-year or 2-year college or university. You can go to that college and graduate with little or no debt. And so if there's nothing else you hear tonight, is that you can start your scholarship search. And we hope that you start with UNCF. So throughout the year, again, we've got several scholarship opportunities, not just for high school seniors headed to college, but also for current college students. Again, whether you be at an HBCU, 4-year or a 2-year college, we have scholarship opportunities on our site right now waiting on you to apply to. But not only that, when you leave college, UNCF, we got your back even after college. So we've got career opportunities, early, mid, and senior level positions with major companies like American Express, Spectrum, Macy's. So we have a host of opportunities on our site. So whether, again, you're going to college or getting through it or just got out of it, please visit UNCF, connect with us, because where the money resides, okay? I know you heard that TikTok. That's UNCF. And so again, you can find us, all of our opportunities and more information about our opportunities at opportunities.uncf.org. So again, you can visit that link right now, opportunities.uncf.org. But that's all I got to say, Dr. Autumn. I'll pass the mic back to you.
I love that. Thank you, Ms. Reed. And you also see, fam, that there's another QR code. I told you we're going to have them all night. This one, if you actually snap this QR code, we have a scholarship directory over at Big Future. And this QR code actually, fam, will take you right to our UNCF scholarships. So we took the legwork out of this, right? I said earlier, we don't gatekeep. We want to keep this simple. Tap that QR code and it will literally take you to the UNCF scholarships that we have, right, on our website. Now, I believe we have a UNCF scholarship recipient in the building. Nicholas, is that you? Talk to us.
Yes, ma'am. So the thing about UNCF, their motto is, the mind is a terrible thing to waste. So you have to have a good mind. And so when you come to scholarship from UNCF, it's very big. With UNCF, I've been in a lot of places as a high school, as a college student. It's 3 weeks ago, before Thanksgiving, I was in Houston. I spoke at a gala for UNCF, our Southwest Gala, and there was multi-million-dollars. I met local politicians. And so it's a great thing when it comes to scholarships from UNCF. They always have scholarships. Like we tell our students here on HC campus, if you're at an institution and you're paying for school, that means you're missing out on something. There's money everywhere. I don't care if it's a private school to a public school. There's money somewhere. You can go in there and ask for $5. $5 will take you a long way. If you keep on asking, somebody keep on giving it to you, you're not going to pay for school. So college is a game that if you win it, you leave debt free. You always got to ask. Don't hesitate with asking questions because you can win. Like if you have a question like, hey, this is what's going on, somebody will help you. That's the point of faculty and staff at colleges. They're there to help you, not to hinder you, not to like throw you off. Like I know my HBCU, I don't want to be an HBCU fanatic, but my HBCU is very close-knit. So like I knew Dr. Cabinets when she was here at HT. I saw her almost every 30 minutes because we would cross paths just by just walking out the door and then Dr. Cabinets would be going to her office. So it's very, you find those things. You find those people that you're connect with, those people that will be there to help you. Like, don't always ask questions. That's all I can say. Never hesitate. Ask a question. No question. As long as your question has a subject and a verb and a punctuation, it's a question. And it's a sentence. So it's great.
Look, bars. Okay, lots of bars coming from our illustrious panel tonight. Okay, we dropping the mic. We giving bars. Look, fam, we are hearing it all. Okay, and so we're getting questions. And I just think this is a good question because we led with this at the beginning. Alasia wants to know, what can you do to better your mentality? And I just want to hear from one person, any insight. What can you do to better your mentality, right? Because I see for a couple of people in our chat from our Real Talk fam that if they've applied for a scholarship and they didn't get that scholarship, sometimes you can kind of feel a little bit down about the opportunity. What can we do to better our mentality? Can someone help us out, please? Yes, ma'am, Mrs. Clay.
So listen,
At least
I know that things get very, very, very challenging, right? I am not that old and I am not that far from out of school either, as a matter of fact. And I too had scholarships in school. I do also have student loans because I didn't know how far scholarships could take me. I applied for some and I got some and they were great. And I did very well at Grambling. I got some. I went to Grambling State University for undergrad and Louisiana Tech for my master's. And I have some plus master credit hours as well. And so I know what it's like to need the money and then you get discouraged, right? And that's a natural feeling. So here are some steps that I always tell anyone that I talk to whenever I'm asked, how do I get from point A to point B? There are 3 easy steps and you can write this down. The first time you use it, give me credit. The next time it could be yours, okay? The first thing you're gonna do is you're going to ace this thing. You're going to assess where you are. So as a high school student or a college student, you have to become really realistic with what it is you're trying to accomplish. Not what your mom wants you to accomplish, not what your granny and them said, all your aunties and your cousins and your mentor in high school. What is it that Des wants to accomplish? So you're going to assess where you are. And that assessment comes with a really, really hard, this is the hardest part, because you have to do a self-evaluation. You have to gain a sense of awareness of self. And sometimes we don't like to see the person in the mirror, right? So when I say assess, I'm not talking about just the tangible things like, oh, I'm a high schooler. I'm talking about like, be honest with yourself, and excuse my vernacular, but I'm lazy. I waste too much time. Like all those things you need to come to grips with to determine what it is. Maybe I'm overly ambitious. Maybe I quit after I do one thing wrong or things like that. So you're going to assess where you are. Then you're going to create your plan. Okay. You're going to create a concrete plan. And I'm not talking about the plan that's sitting in the notebook. We have 50,000 notebooks, the same plan. You never go back to them. I'm talking about a step-by-step plan. And I don't need to talk about SMART goals because that's Googleable. So look up some SMART goals. That's a good way to get started. And then you go and then you evaluate that plan in conjunction with where you saw yourself, right? So after you've seen yourself and you realize where you want to be, you create your plan. And then you're going to do what? This is where only about 2% of population do. You're going to execute. Okay. You have to do something. I do not care about all the dreams and goals you have. If you want to switch your mindset when you're getting discouraged, the only way to defeat a defeatist attitude is to do something. You have to keep your momentum going. In order to pull yourself out of a rut, you have to experience some type of win. Okay, so if you're listening to me in the chat, just say win. You have to experience a win. And for you, that win may be to get back and search. Go back to Google and use those Boolean the quotes to do a search. Maybe it's to go back to the UNCF website. Maybe it's to go to Big Future and do those steps and use the QR code. Whatever that win is, big or small, it is still a win for you. And it'll get your adrenaline back going and you'll be able to feel confident in yourself again and your ability to do something, right? And then you evaluate, okay? So this is A squared because you got to evaluate what you've done. If what you're doing is not working, that means you have to do something differently. It doesn't mean that your plan is bad. It means that what you're doing may need to be tweaked a little bit. So then you may need to talk to somebody. Maybe you reach out to Dr. Autumn, or maybe you reach out to Nicholas or Carrington or Miss Reed, whomever it is, Alicia, Normandy, me, I don't know. You reach out to someone and say, hey, this is what I'm trying to do. This is where I've done this, I've done that, I've done this. Now what? Okay? So you're going to assess, create a plan, execute, evaluate, and the last and final step, this is a bonus. You're going to PPYQ. You're going to push past your quit. Everything you want is on the other side of your quit. Everything you want. If you want to go to school, you can't quit in the middle. If you're trying to get out of school debt-free, you can't quit in the middle. One of the things I told Carrington, I'm going to stop because I can go on and on about this, is Carrington is not the first student to go to college in our family, but she will be. I told her from very young, you're going to be the first one to go debt-free because I'm still paying my loans, okay? Amen, somebody. Okay, so let me just tell you, I didn't want that for her. I wanted her to have an amazing future, and I wanted it to be stress-free and not running around looking for money and trying to figure out how tuition was going to be paid. So assess, create, execute, evaluate, and PPYQ. I hope that helps someone.
All right. I tell you, family, we're bringing all the heat today. Thank you, Mrs. Clay. We absolutely are. And someone wanted me to show one of our earlier QR codes. And this is for the Big Future $40,000 scholarship QR code. I'm going to put that back on the screen. And while I let that sit for a second, we're going to go ahead, Normandy, and we're going to kind of talk with you a little bit about 10 tips, right? You have 10 tips on how we can get ready for scholarships and scholarship success. And we're going to have to run through them pretty quickly because we're going to get some questions on the back. 10 scholarship tips. Talk to us.
Alrighty, fam. It is a pleasure to be here, first and foremost. And I'm excited to share with you guys how to get this free money for college, all right? So we dropped a ton of gems already. Hope you guys got your notebook out, have your notepads out, have your pens and paper. I'm about to drop a few more gems for you guys to be able to improve your chances of getting scholarships, all right? So the first tip, mentality. As we mentioned already, you have to have a winning mindset. Know that you already won the scholarship. Know that you're more than eligible. You're more than qualified to win these opportunities. Okay, don't focus on your GPA. Don't focus on your test scores. Don't focus on your income bracket. Don't focus on any of those things. Focus on the fact that you qualify for millions in scholarships. Okay, that's first and foremost. And also, I want to bring. I also want to mention my journey as well, because people always think, "Oh, Normandy, you must have had an advantage. You must have you applied super early. You must have." No. When I started applying, I think I applied pretty late, honestly. And I remember my mom and I had a conversation, and she said, "Normandy, I don't know anything about scholarships, nothing about financial aid or grants or all these different things. I don't know anything about that. But I do know one thing: you're going to go to school debt free, one way or another." And that was super important because it made me believe, okay, well, if she believes in it, I definitely believe in it for sure. So we made a pact from that day forward. And I had told myself, at times I was up until, 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning applying for scholarships. And I said, how this is gruesome. This is a brutal process. But I remember one time my mom, she told me, she said, Normandy, you can't afford to give up. And that's true on so many levels. I couldn't afford to give up, right? So I always tell my students, like, you have to find out your why, right? And also keep a positive mindset about the process. As someone who applied to over 300 scholarships in 2 months' time, I had to keep pushing, keep pushing. I think I forgot who it was, but someone mentioned, I think it was Miss Reed possibly, that it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. You have to keep going with it. And the more work you put into it, the better the reward, for sure. So second thing is local and niche scholarships are gems. So local scholarships, okay, there is money all around you in your city, in your county, in your state. There's money all around you. There are fraternities and sororities. There are banks. There are credit unions, fast food places like McDonald's and Burger King. There are a plethora of places around you that are giving money to students who need it. So definitely find that because when I was searching for scholarships, most of the time when you Google scholarships, the local ones don't come up unless you put your city and your state. So look for these local scholarships. There's money all around you. The third point says vomit on paper. Okay, this sounds pretty gross. It sounds pretty gross, honestly. But in the simplest sense, it's a method I created that helped me to find scholarships really, really quickly. So basically, what I did was I got a blank sheet of paper and I broke down who I was as a student on that sheet of paper. So once again, your ethnicity, nationality, your city, your state, your major, anything you're interested in, any clubs you're in, any student organizations you're in, you put it on this paper. And what you do is you plug it into Google, again, using those quotes again. Now, how many students use this? How many people know about this? But it helped me tremendously for sure. Use those quotes and phrases in Google and plug it in. And what also helps is putting the year behind it. So it tells Google I need relevant results that are open this year for me to apply for. Fourth thing is apply for scholarship like a part-time job. Honestly, I know a lot of students are busy with extracurriculars, with sports, with jobs, workings and such. So it's not fit for everyone to make it a part-time job. But what I will say is, like I said earlier, make time to apply for scholarships. People make time for what they want. Like for example, it's Christmas is around the corner, right? So people are making time for shopping, talking to friends and family. They're making time for what they make time for, what they really care about. So I tell my students, if you can make time to become debt free, then you are winning. If you want to go to school debt free, if you want to win a scholarship, if you want to not stress out your parents about student loans, which you definitely don't want to do, you will make time to apply for scholarships. And also, it's also about setting goals as well. If you apply, for a scholarship, if you apply for one scholarship a day, or at least take 30 minutes out of your schedule to apply for a scholarship, that, that goes a long way. So again, 30 minutes, 15 minutes out of your day, apply for a scholarship, one scholarship a day. Create goals for yourself, and that'll help you go much further. Have I had a question so far?
All right. I want to ask real fast, Normandy. When we say put things in quotes on Google, I'm seeing that in the chat. Quickly, what does that mean?
The bunny ears, basically. So
Why would
I'm
you
in a,
do
in
that?
the, I'm sorry.
Why would you do that? Why is that important?
So, so in the simplest sense, Google tells you if you want to search for something and to really narrow down your results to find something, you will use quotes. So when I was applying, I was having a difficult time as well, finding opportunities for myself until I found this tip. And then I started using it to find opportunities I qualified for. So using quotes, narrow down your results. And there was an example on the slide, but it just helps to really find opportunities you qualify for faster. That makes sense.
Makes perfect sense. And it narrows down the search and gives us a more specific search. So
Right.
wonderfully done. All right, talk to us quickly about FLOSS. What's that, Normandy?
FLOSS is an amazing acronym to basically demonstrate how clean the scholarship process can be if you follow these steps. So F stands for foundation. Okay. Who can you depend on for motivation? For me, that was my mom. But for you, that could be someone different. It could be your dad. It could be your friend. It could be your auntie, your uncle, your cousin, your friend. It could be College Board. It could be UNCF. It could be an online community, where you can lean on to like get inspiration for applying for scholarships. That's what's really important. Getting that motivation and getting um, how they say it takes a village sometimes to
Absolutely.
to really accomplish. Right, it takes a village sometimes to accomplish what you want to accomplish. So find that motivation, find that's something that can help you when you feel like you're tired, you don't want to apply for scholarships anymore, right? So find that. And also, this is important too. Outline your goals. What do you really want to accomplish? Because this will help you to really shine in your applications. And I don't mean, I had to find this out the hard way when I was applying for scholarships. 'Cause my mom told me, she was like, Normandy, I love your essays. They're amazing. You want to do X, Y, and Z to help people. But you're still thinking around the corner when you should be thinking internationally. You really want to wow the person reading your application, right? So you want to think on a huge scale of what do you want to accomplish in this world? So outline your goals and have that ready when you're applying for these scholarships. Okay, next, when it comes to FLOSS, is L, which stands for links. So there are many websites that help you apply for scholarships. One being UNCF, second being College Board, Big Future, of course. And again, there are many also even Instagram pages nowadays, online pages that will help you to for example, myself, I post scholarships every single day on my Instagram. So it's like find a good source for yourself. Again, College Board, Big Future, UNCF. There's some great resources out there. When it comes to organization, please, I beg of you, please create a scholarship email, which is an email just for scholarships. This will help you so much with organization. I see a lot of students create, they apply for scholarships and they use their personal emails, and this is a big distraction for them. So I always tell my student, if you're using the same email for like, McDonald's coupons, Amazon orders, schoolwork, I wouldn't advise it. Create an email, professional email, just for scholarships. When it comes to strategy, scholarship process is all about strategy, honestly. And I'm going to go through a few different strategies. For example, the first one I like to use is the apply and forget method. Again, when a lot of students are applying for scholarships, they get tired after a bit. I had a student come to me and they're like, Normandy, I applied for 30 scholarships. And I was like, well, I applied to 300, so you have a little bit more to go. And they were like, oh my goodness. But honestly, don't put all your eggs in a basket and don't focus just on one particular opportunity. Like, for example, if you see a $20,000 scholarship, you apply for it and you're like, I really need the scholarship. I really, really need it. Do not put all your faith in that one scholarship. Apply for it, forget about it, on to the next one. Apply for that one, apply for that one, forget about it, on to the next one. That's a good method to really implement your scholarship process. Another thing is reuse your essays. Don't write a new essay for every single scholarship you apply for. And of course, analyze the previous winners of the scholarship. It's super, super important. Don't When it comes to no essay scholarships, College Board has an amazing no essay scholarship. So be careful of certain ones that are not that may seem a little suspect, of course. So just make sure you don't apply for just no essay scholarships. Apply for a plethora of different scholarships: essay, video scholarships, merit scholarships, need-based scholarship if you qualify for it. And last but not least, create a academic resume for yourself. A lot of students don't know what an academic resume actually is, but create an academic resume or create a brag sheet that basically tells, it tells people, if someone reads your academic resume, it tells them who you are, what you've been involved in, your academic history, your career, what you've been involved in all 3 or 4 years of high school. It's just a very important track record of your academic history. So basically, what I did with mine is I created an academic resume. And it helped me to go from applying to 1 to 2 scholarships a day to about 6 to 8 scholarships a day. Because I was able to copy and paste from that academic resume right into my application. So if you don't have one already, definitely create an academic resume or a brag sheet explaining, or just detailing what you've done all 3 or 4 years of high school. And also, of course, use a scholarship organizer. That's super, super important. What is a scholarship organizer? It basically tells, it organizes everything you apply for. So as someone, again, who applied for over 300 scholarships, I had to have an organizational system to help me to keep track of everything. And I use a scholarship organizer. It just basically tells you what scholarship you applied for, the amount, the deadline, and the website link for you to be able to go to that scholarship. But kind of summarizing everything up: scholarship organizer, academic resume, and of course, scholarship email.
I love that because you're putting a system and a process to this, right? Take it. Yes, I'm going to give you a big clap on that, Normandy, and went through all the different ways. Yes, ma'am. Yes. All right. But that really puts a structure, and you could literally create that as a spreadsheet. You can also keep track of the scholarships that you apply for on Big Future. So there's lots of ways to really make sure you have that process. All right, y'all, we only have about 10 minutes, and that's giving us a couple more minutes. We need to answer some questions, okay? So we're going to ask some questions here, and I just need one person. I'll probably call on you because I'm back in professor mode to let me know. Okay, so I would like to know, and this is from Goheri, what's one mistake you will never make when applying for a scholarship as a high school student? And I'm going to send that over to Ms. Reed. What's one mistake you will never make when applying for a scholarship as a high school student? Thank you, Kahiri. That's a great question.
Yeah, Corey, that's a great question. And you know what? I have a ton of mistakes that I made as a high school senior. So my number one that I would, if I could go back in a time machine, is I wouldn't leave any money on the table. And I think Normandy said it best. There's tons of opportunities out there. And I think a lot of times it's our mindset, our mentality that sometimes will stop us from even trying. And so my biggest mistake is that I left a lot of opportunities on the table because I counted myself out. So number one, I think I would tell myself as a high school senior, as a high school student, to follow those strategies and steps that Normandy shared and apply for every opportunity out there that you are eligible for.
I love that. Thank you. Nicholas, this is a question that I think is a good one from Antoinette. What if you do not have a mentor or parents that understand how to apply for scholarships? Where would I go from here?
Thank you for that question, Antoinette. Where did you go? I mean, it's people everywhere. Like, find I think Normie was saying that, find if you play video games, ask the people that you play video games with, like, hey, this is what I'm going on with. I know a lot of kids play Fortnite, GTA, Madden. Our generation, we're on Twitch. We're staying up all night trying to beat the levels. But find somebody, there's someone like that teacher that you go to class with, and you be like, hey, I have this question. I don't know how somebody help me. As educators are the best people to direct you in different places. And the teacher that you think always hard on me, if you ask them a question, they will go the extra mile to make sure you get it done. And so I know from my education experience, teachers turn into parents, right? And so that teacher that don't have any children and you ask them that question, they turn into your parents. So for me, my mentor was my teacher, right? And now she's my godmother, right? So let's make that connection. So yes. We talk every day, all right? We're talking about my college experience. We're talking about, hey, how can I better answer this question? So ask your teacher, ask the teacher, if you're an athlete, ask the coach. That coach will go the extra mile. I know if you actually call to the education space, your journey is to go the extra mile to make sure that the next generation is impacted, not only your generation.
Absolutely. I always say your vibe attracts your tribe. And if you really go out there and you look for the mentor and you just ask questions, you will find that person who really wants to see you win. And it's just putting yourself out there, right? We talked about FAM at the beginning of tonight. That's what it's about. Not being afraid to put yourself out there, right? You got this, and you absolutely deserve to be in the building, and you absolutely deserve to connect with a mentor who really gets where you're going and wants to see you win. Thank you, Nicholas. All right, this is another question from McLeod. And McLeod wants to know, could community service, extracurricular activities, or other non-academic achievements contribute for a scholarship? What are some of the key focus areas or characteristics that scholarships typically look for in terms of the applicants? Alicia or Carrington, any ideas on that?
Do you want to take it or me? What's up?
You can do one half and I do the other half.
All right, boom.
Okay, I like this teamwork.
I'll do the leadership portion. So from Xavier University, I have a leadership scholarship that was a 6-figure scholarship as well. And it's just because when you apply, like you can literally tell them, hey, I did this in high school. I was this on this team. I did this as leadership opportunity. I volunteered here. I was a part of this club. Telling them alone things you've done will have them like, oh yeah, that's the one. And they'll pretty much your application just looks more attractive and it's more of an eye catcher versus someone who they could have did the whole shebang. But if they don't say that, how will these people know? And you just have to be able to tell them like, I did this, I did this, I did that, and say it proudly so that way they can check you for accountability of doing this and doing this. And so that's how I came up with that's how I got the leadership scholarship, telling them everything I've done, how easy it was for me to step into the position of leading, and whatever position you step into, they have different roles that you could get a scholarship for. It's just that simple. Take it away, Carrington.
All right. To piggyback off that, being in extracurriculars and having service hours, like I'm a Girl Scout, I did cheer, track. So having those aspects in your application actually makes you stand out way more because they're not just going to hand us money to anybody. They want to make sure you're about to do something with the money you're about to get. So if they know that you're doing community service, they know, okay, this person is going to be on campus. They're going to be active. They're going to be communicating and networking with other people. So it just makes you stand out way more.
All right, nice teamwork, ladies. Nicely done, okay? That was nice. Okay, I like a little assist. It's basketball season right now. I like the assist. All right, we're going to try to get 2 more questions in. I know people are asking more about our big future, our opportunity for $540,000. So I went ahead and put that QR code back up there. I'm going to let that sit up there for a little bit, and then I'll run through our other QR codes so you have time to capture them and snap them before the event's over. But if you miss this, don't worry, because we always bring this event back in terms of being able to watch it and view it. You can see it on our Big Future site. So I'll drop the link in the chat for you to see in a few moments, but you can catch this Real Talk, our previous Real Talks. You can catch them all. You can also share it with someone who you feel needs to watch this who wasn't in the building with us tonight, okay? All right, so let's get through a couple of more questions. These are good questions. All right, let's see. Okay, we talked about essays, how you can apply with different essays and how you can go ahead and personalize those. Did we get any suggestions for writing the scholarship essay? Quickly, any suggestions for writing the scholarship essay? Who wants to take that? Ms. Reed, I see your hand up. Please take that for us. And this is from Kimberly.
Okay, thanks, Kimberly, because I love that question. We work with students all the time who are submitting essays for scholarship opportunities on UNCF site. So one of my favorite tips that I've picked up over the years is show yourself positive. I think that is a great 3-word statement to keep in mind when you're writing your essay. Various essay topics can range from career opportunities, your personal statement about yourself, tell us your story, what are your career interests, those types of perseverance. Those are some of the topics I've seen. And that 3-word statement, show yourself positive, always rings true. So real quick, breaking that down, show yourself positive, show, use actions, activities, examples. Anytime you state something about yourself, whether you're saying, I'm a leader, I love my community, back it up with some examples, right? So show us that you're a leader. Show us that you love your community, yourself. So yourself, that is a reminder to you to always talk about you. A lot of times you may run into an essay prompt that'll say, hey, tell me about somebody in your life that was so important to you and impacted you. And you might start talking about your mom. If you're Carrington, I'm definitely talking about Mrs. Clay here and talking about how impactful she was to my life. But always remember to bring that back to yourself, right? So what did you learn from your mom? What did you learn from that experience watching her grow up? So remember, talk about yourself. And then lastly, positive. This is my favorite one because we've all experienced a rough time. I don't know if we can think back to COVID and in that quarantine time, that season of working virtually and going to school virtually and how tough that was. But remember to always have a positive twist on things. Show how you've been an overcomer. What did you learn new from COVID? Did you pick up any new skills, start any new hobbies? So put that positive twist always on your essay. So with that 3-word statement, show yourself positive, I think you'll have a strong essay for any prompt that you encounter for your application.
Oh, look, this panel. Okay, let me see. We shutting down the panel. Okay. All right. Let's see if I can find something. Okay. In terms of our scholarships. Okay. Let's see. Rebecca wants to know, in terms of organizing the scholarship, we should put it in some sort of format, like an Excel spreadsheet, a Word document. Any other tips on that, Real Talk fam, on how we can organize? Yes,
So,
ma'am.
just real quick, just always think that you're going to reuse this information and you don't want to have to keep searching for it. A lot of the times it's the same information over and over and over and over again. So what you can do, I mean, if you're not a big fan of Excel, you can create a folder on your computer, your laptop, your phone, all those essays, label them well with the topic of the essay so that when you're looking for something similar, you don't have to reread the entire the entire essay. So that's one way. And then also, if you did create an Excel sheet or a chart of your liking, your choosing, then make sure you're not only putting the links, the amount, the date in which you apply, but also the date that you should hear something back. And then also what we did with Carrington was we copied and pasted the questions and then her responses. Because what you're going to find is the questions are also very similar. So instead of rewriting everything, it becomes kind of a game of copy and paste. So just add those columns on there. And then, of course, create their email address so that you're getting everything in one place. And that'll start your process and your procedures for kind of staying organized.
All right. That's perfect. All right, fam. We're going to go ahead and get to one last question. Okay, just one last question. I'm going to ask everyone on the panel this. We're all going to answer this one. But I need to know briefly. So give me like 1 or 2 sentences, okay? What advice, knowing what you know about life now, would you give to your 18-year-old self? What advice, knowing what you know about life now, would you give to your 18-year-old self? Ms. Reed, I'm going to go ahead and start with you.
Thank you, because I've had a lot of time to talk to my 18-year-old self, and I've given her a couple blessing outs to a few of those. But one of my big things that I would tell my old self is you miss all of the shots that you don't take. My 18-year-old self, believe it or not, was a basketball player. So we talk a lot of basketball lingo in my house growing up. And one of those things was that if you don't shoot the ball, you will not make it, right? And so I always encourage students, and I would encourage my 18-year-old self to shoot every shot by applying to every scholarship opportunity that you hear about, that you run into, or that someone sends you, so that you can at least make a few, right, and get a few points on the board. So that's my little advice to my old self.
All right, that's good advice. That's very good advice. Mrs. Clay?
If I had to talk to my 18-year-old self on the south side of Chicago, I would tell myself to remember why you started. Because if you remember why you started, you'll never quit a day in your life. There were a lot of moments in which I found myself quitting, and quitting doesn't always mean to completely stop, but it sometimes means to give up too soon, to not travail in something long enough to get the results you want because results aren't coming fast enough. So yeah, to remember why you started so that I wouldn't quit.
All right. I agree with that. Thank you. Normandy?
I would tell myself 2 things. The first thing is the blessing you're looking for is in the work you're avoiding. And the second thing is you don't have to start off great, but you have to start to be great. That's it.
Oh, that's good. That's very good. Thank you. All right. We can snap for that. Alicia?
One thing of advice. I would really, it's sad that we have to say this, I would say don't listen to your doubters. And your doubter could be yourself as well. But sometimes there's plenty of people around you who will tell you that you can't do it and that you shouldn't do it and that it's rare and a whole bunch of things in your ear to doubt you. And you just have to tell yourself, put God first, or whoever your religious leader is, put them first. And if it's destined for you, it will happen. So don't listen to the naysayers and the doubters would be the advice I would give to her. Well, I'm 18 now, but give it to myself when I was in high school.
Wonderful advice. Wonderful advice. Carrington?
Advice I would give I'm 18 too, but the advice I would give to my high school self is to don't pass up anything, like nothing, no scholarship, no type of opportunity, whatever it is. Like, for example, this, like we were asked to do this. I could have easily said I didn't want to, but it's opportunity. So we all took it clearly. So yeah.
I love that. I love that. Thank you, Carrington. Nicholas?
Sometimes your storms are just the beginning to your future. So even though you're in the midst of a storm, that the storm that you don't know when it's going to end, keep pushing and you receive a greater reward that eyes haven't seen, ears have never heard, and hands can never touch.
You know, I tell you, this panel is an all-star panel. I mean, we just dropped the mic, bars, take us to church right before Sunday. I mean, what more can I say? What more can I say? Okay, fam. I see all of you. Okay, fam. All right. Let me make sure this is on everyone's agenda. Know that this is Big Future Scholarship Week. It continues. And a number of you have had questions and want to know more about our requirements for our Big Future Scholarship, for the $500 scholarship, for the $40,000. I went ahead and placed that link in our chat. So please make sure you take a look at that. And then I've also left a couple of QR codes that I would love for you to scan so you can register for our upcoming events, as well as learn more about our Big Future Scholarship events. And so we have Paying for College 101, that's coming up tomorrow, 8 o'clock Eastern. And then we have Find Your Dream Job as we continue our Big Future Scholarship Week. And that's coming up on the 7th of this week. So lots of opportunities to learn more about our Big Future Scholarship opportunities, lots of opportunities to learn more about our panel. All of that's happening. And then we're going to come back, Real Talk fam, next Tuesday. And we're going to talk some more money, right, panel? We've been talking money. We're going to continue it in December. And we're going to fill out the FAFSA. So if you need some insight as to that, it's a new FAFSA that's on the horizon, that's happening. We're going to give you some insight next week, 8 o'clock Eastern. Of course, you can follow us wherever we are on Instagram, Facebook, Big Future. I always want to say Twitter. You know where I'm going with that. Twitter, X. And then if you have questions, and I see questions in the chat because we couldn't get to every question, if you take the time to reach out to us, the Real Talk fam, at realtalk@collegeboard.org, I will write you back. Our Real Talk team, we will get back to you, okay? So if you have a question, and I know we couldn't get to everyone's question, I apologize. Feel free to go to realtalk@collegeboard.org. And real fast, if we wanted to reach you, panel, real fast, how do we reach you? Normandy? If I wanted to reach you, okay, where do I go?
Instagram at College Pass. College has an X for the C. So
Okay.
it's College Pass, X for the C. And also on TikTok. My first and middle name, Normandy Elise.
All right. Thank you, Normandy. How about for you, Ms. Reed? How do I reach you?
Yes, you can reach UNCF by following us on social media at UNCF, or shoot me an email at ereed@uncf.org.
Okay. Alicia, if I wanted to reach you, could I reach you?
The best way to reach me is actually my phone number, because I'll hit that fast and give you your whatever question you have. And so I'm going to go ahead and say the number. I'll say it twice.
Wait, hold on with your phone number. Do you want to give your email address? Is that easier, Alicia?
Ooh, you know I got my nickname on here.
Oh, okay. You know what we'll do? If you have questions for Alicia, send
Instagram?
me. Yeah, let's do Instagram. That's better. Go ahead.
All right. My Instagram is e.tha1. either one.
Right. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Alicia. I appreciate you being so open. Thank you. All right, Carrington.
You can just reach me on my Instagram. It's Bradsdoll1_.
Okay, spell that for us.
BRATZDOLL_1.
Okay, thank you. How about for you, Nicholas?
You can reach me on all platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn. My Instagram is Mr. Preach, Mr_Preach. Anything else, I'm on all platforms, TikTok, whatever you want to reach out to me. My email is nwmcdermott@htu.edu.
All right. Thank you, sir. Mrs. Clay?
Yes, on all platforms, Dez360, DEZTHREE 60 spelled out, Dez360. You like to email me, you can email me at Dez360 and just mention Big Future, $40,000, and I'll respond immediately.
All right. And fam, you can always reach us at realtalk@collegeboard.org. I told you, an amazing panel. You'll have a survey that's coming up, y'all. Give us your feedback because we've been working hard behind the Real Talk fam sings, okay? So let us know how we're doing. Let us know. Give us your thoughts. And fam, I'm proud of you. You've been in the building. You got this. Can't wait to see you next week. Illustrious All-Star Scholarship panel. Let's wave bye. I think we did that. Say bye. Bye, family. See you next week. Bye, you guys. Thank you.